We have one of the most incredible coincidences and stories right now that I think I've ever heard in the outdoors. Dr. Asa Kelly from Addison. 27 years ago, you did something with a couple of bucks whose antlers were locked. What'd you do?
Released them and let them run again.
Sawed their antlers off. Very few vets, I'd say, have ever had the experience of doing anything like that. Wouldn't you think?
You know, I have no way of judging it.
Do you have any pictures of that?
No, I do not.
Now, the other night, Marlene Kelly, what happened?
We got a phone call from the sheriff's department. 2 bucks had their horns caught together, and Bruce wanted us to come help.
Okay, Marlene grabbed the video camera, the home video, and this is what she took as her husband, Doc Kelly, had the rope in his hand, and the first thing he did is fling it over their antlers. Oh!
And as you see, we had kind of a lucky grab there. We got what we wanted right off. I wanted just the one deer, so if we did get them apart, we didn't have 2 of them still fastened together and fighting both of them.
You mean that rope is just over one of the antlers of
Yes.
one of the deer?
Mm-hmm. It's on the one towards you. And as we got the rope settled on their horns, we put some pressure on it to turn their necks at an angle so that they would not have the ability to charge straight forward as we were working with them.
Looks like a pretty cautious group of people there.
I don't know about anybody else, but I'm scared to death of them because they'll kill you.
Well, the tines on that one buck look to be 8 or 10 inches long.
I think they're fully that long and perhaps longer.
Are you going with the bolt cutters?
Yeah. Now what I did was take the tip of that one tine off, hoping that as I took that tip off, I could use that as a lever and pry those 2 racks apart. So you'll see that tip go, and I think you'll see here in a moment where I tried to use it as a pry bar, and it just wasn't going to work. And you'll see I tried it a little bit there and just gave up and started with the vice grips that you will see here in a moment that I used to make a groove in that horn.
Now you mean the bolt cutters were too...
The bolt cutters were too small to cut back at the base, or towards the base where we had to release it.
Now how big are those bucks? I mean, points, they're about, what?
I think they're 10 and 12 points. I think you'll count those later. And they were rather large bucks. I'm going to judge them at roughly 220 and 280 live weight.
280 pounds for that biggest?
I believe so.
Well, Marlene, you're a hunter.
I'm a
So is
hunter.
Doc. This must have been exciting to you to see
It was
this.
exciting, very much so.
You're holding the camera real steady there. You were a distance away.
I was in the car to start with, and then I just decided I had to get closer, and I got out. And I've got the old-fashioned camera where I have to carry the recorder. This is not a camcorder.
Carrying the recorder with you.
Right.
Boy, look at that bundle of tines. And what are you looking for? What are you doing right there?
That's where I'm notching the tine. As I told you, I was notching it so I could get the bolt cutter over it.
And you say there's one of them there that if you release
There's
that
one in both situations that I have been into with this, that the one tine will release it if you find the right one.
Now that's the landowner there who has the farm?
That is the landowner that owns the farm.
Oh, and there's Bruce.
Then there's Bruce.
Bruce Van Weren, the conservation officer. Now he's running back up there.
He's playing quarter horse. He's the one that's sitting on the rope. And as he said, this is yours, go do it.
Now, how long were these bucks, how long have they been locked up?
The landowner saw them at 7 o'clock in the morning.
And what time is it now?
And this is roughly 5:30, 5:45 in the evening. And they called the conservation officer later on in the day seeking help, and this is the result of it.
Now, these deer would have died
Oh, yes.
if they...
Yes.
How long would it have taken them to die?
I don't think that's an answerable question exactly due to the weather and so many different factors. If they could get where there was water, I'm sure they would drink and eat and so on. However, they really do attempt to mutilate each other. There you'll see where...
Yeah, you just got that tine, didn't you,
I did take that tine on off.
Oh, now this is got to be a tense moment.
This is a very tense moment. You see them release a little. You see them start to charge each other again. As they did this, I took the rope off. You see, I reached over and released the quick release on the Honda.
Oh, yeah, right
there. It goes. All right, now I'm going to run around real quick on the other side to check to see if there's any further damage to them that needs attention, and where I didn't believe there was, and checked them there to be sure their eyes and everything was okay. And
But now, why are they standing so still?
they still think they're locked in combat.
And of course, after 10 or 12 hours, or who knows how many hours, they have given up.
And I just told the fellas there to just get back, and I think if just a little movement, I think they'll release themselves. Hear those horns clicking.
Man,
And
that is drama.
the one that is leaving, in this case, is considered the loser, and I'll show you the winner. Right there he is. There goes Twinkle Toes. And he really is quite belligerent at this moment. He thinks he has beat the other deer, and he's ready to beat anything else he comes to. And you'll see the tine that we cut off, so we didn't take very much of it off.
Boy, you can see that. Magnificent. Maybe foot-long tines there. And that's down in Addison, Lenawee County. Look at that. And he's watching you folks.
Oh, yes. Yes, shame on anyone that goes near him.
But he wasn't going to charge from that distance. Any closer, though, he might?
Oh, I started up towards him at one time, and all he did was just drop his head and point those tines at you.
And that's all you need.
No, that's all I need.
Now, when he turned around, and I think he did turn over and glance at Marlene there with the camera.
Right, Bruce told me that if he charged, just to leave it on.
Yeah, leave the
and set it
camera
down,
going.
Right.
He didn't just bound off right then.
No, we, to be sure that he was capable of moving out into life, we took the car and drove up to him slowly and blew the horn, and he turned and left as the other one did then.
So he wasn't hurt.
No,
He was
no.
just belligerent?
Yes.
It was fine.
I tell you, I don't know what it does for the folks at home, but that tape got my heart pounding.
It was exciting.
Marlene, you did a tremendous job on
Thank
that
you.
home video. Doc, you got more stories for Michigan Outdoors. There's more things that these people have done that we're going to have on. Oh, that's a thrill. Now we've got to get over and talk about the weekend forecast.